Hey Scott, I know when you guys drafted Deni Avdija, there was obviously a lot of talk about his shot and the percentages he had in the EuroLeague, and he'd mentioned sort of a mechanical tweak in the months leading up to the draft. And Tommy said when you guys got him in, you would evaluate that and go from there. So what have been the early returns on his shot motion, and do you think you will end up making changes to it?
No, I think his mechanics are good right now. It's just he needs reps. He's a 19-year-old kid that needs reps. He's made shots every day he's practiced. It seems like he makes big shots as well. I think his shot's good. He's just going to have to continue to. It's work in progress, but his form, the mechanics, I think are pretty solid. Like I said, he just needs to keep doing it. He's going to have some teammates and coaches that are going to believe in it, and you just got to keep working on it.
And just to follow up from yesterday, was there any more clarity on what you guys would do as it pertains to the G League bubble?
Yeah, I've talked to Tommy. There's a good chance. Still working on the details, but I'm looking forward to that because we're going to have some guys that are going to be need some opportunities to play. But that's still a little early on who, and with injuries and COVID, we always have to have guys ready. But it's moving in the right direction. I think it's a pretty good chance that we will. I don't know all the details, but like some type of bubble situation.
Chris Miller?
Hey, Scotty, how are you?
Good, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Hey, the league is always, follow the trends, right? 90s basketball, 80s basketball is physical. Splash Brothers kind of changed the game with shooting threes. But I did notice last year, kind of with the Lakers, is it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, size is coming back into the game. And with what Philly has done this year, they've even gotten bigger. Milwaukee's a big team. How do you see your team kind of matching up with kind of the trends of the league in terms of shooting with guys like Davis, Brad, and Garrison, and also having the size to compete against teams like that?
I think we made it a nice step in the right direction this offseason. We drafted Deni, who's big, good size, good shooter. We acquired some pretty big guys. Robin is big and as tough as they come at that position. Obviously, Russell, his athleticism and size at that position. But I thought we did a great job of mixing in some shooting, some toughness, some defensive mindsets. But the league is definitely a lot of the good teams. The Final Four teams, they got good size and good shooting and a lot of athleticism. I think that we're definitely moved in the right direction.
What have you liked so far when it comes to the grit, kind of the Scott Brooks team, right? Like, it's easy to see it. It's hard to describe it, but I know you're a grit and grind kind of guy, but you like also, you got to have a high IQ and you also have to be, athletic enough to compete with these teams. Is this team kind of taking on the identity that you want so far in camp?
Yes, I think so. I mean, it's no matter what era you come from and you play in, grit and toughness wins out, and you have to have obviously the IQ, the skill set, and athleticism. And I think we're approaching having all those things right now. And you're really good as you have your two leaders leading the way and showing how the team, the inner workings of the team and the mindset of a team needs to be. And you look at LeBron James, and I always admired him from a distance. He doesn't let just the role players do all the dirty work. He does it. And when you have your best players bringing their lunch pail every day to work, that's when you have a special group, and we have that with Russell and Brad, and it was evident today. Today we really did a lot of scrimmaging, And it was nice to also add Robin in the mix today. He did bits and pieces of practice, but you need all that to have success. You need that toughness, and I think what we have, we're starting to really identify what we are and who we are as a team.
Fred?
Hey, Scott. Just building off what you just said about today being the first practice. I know you haven't had that much time, but it's not like they give you that much time to prepare for games anyway. What have you made of how Brad and Russell are working together, and not necessarily like how well they're working together, but like stylistically, have there been any surprises? Have they done anything and you've been like, oh, that's an interesting thing to try out, things like that?
No, I mean, I have a little bit of the knowledge on both games because I've coached one for 7 years, coached one going on 5 years now. And there's, like I said many times, I'm going to continue. There's so many similarities, how they approach the game and how they think the game. And I like that. They both can score in different ways. Russell's going to be, he's dynamic in transition. His mid-range post-up game off the board is as good as it gets. And then Brad's ability to play pick and roll and shoot behind threes is as good as it gets. But I think that's going to be. I mean, there's obviously going to be some filling out period, but I don't see that being an issue. I don't see that being like a long extended period. What they've done now, what they've showed myself, our coaches, and even the group, that they're gonna fit in very well together. Today was really. I mean, yesterday we did some 5-on-5, but not as much as we did today, and it was pretty dynamic seeing that white team, play during the 5 or 6 minutes that we scrimmaged, and both of them played very, very well together.
And just to follow up, do you have anything further on Davis beyond what you already said yesterday?
Yes, I mean, he's definitely here in the building. He did some 1-on-0 work way before any of the players came into the building. He can do that. We hope that everything with all the NBA protocols have in place, he might be able to participate in group workouts. What's today? Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So we can. It's great. I saw him yesterday. Looks great. He's very happy as he should be, right?
Perfect. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Dave Johnson?
Hey, Scott, you just mentioned it was dynamic watching the white team in scrimmage. Anything in particular you could share with us that made it dynamic?
You see, I mean, Russell and Brad are obviously special players, but just seeing the growth of TB, we talked about defensively, he needs to continue to really see it much quicker and react right away because you're a second behind. There's so many incredible players that get to the cup in a 1 or 2 dribbles from the 3-point line. And then seeing Rui's development, I thought he is just his feel for the game is improving daily, and I think that was good to see. And Deni, I thought he blended in well with the group, and we switched some of the teams up. And I thought everybody had. I thought today's practice was really, really good, and I thought we got better today as a team.
And with Bradley and Russell, is it a case where great players just instinctively understand the other plays? In other words, is there much of a transition of those two getting used to each other, or is it a case of great players automatically kind of cling together?
I mean, great players. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they're great, and when you put great players together, it usually works out. And all the good teams have a bunch of great players on it. We want to build our team with those two guys in the backcourt and the other guys being, stars in their roles. And they're all important. Not one guy is more important than the other. And I think that if we establish that, I think everybody can understand their roles and flourish in their roles. I think, like I said, Rui, I thought he really had a really good practice today, but two guys, I mean, they're unique. Their skill set's unique. The backcourt that we have, and it's gonna be fun to see how it all unfolds and how our group continues to improve during these remaining days of training camp going into our first game in Philadelphia.
Glenn?
Hey, Scott.
Glenn?
What are some of the changes that not just you, but obviously all the coaches in the NBA are in the same boat right now? It's like the Cliff Note version of getting ready for the season because it's come so quickly. You got to incorporate new players. You got to incorporate new schemes. What are some of the challenges? You want to focus on defense, obviously, and get that intact, but because it's so shortened, I mean, what are some of the challenges you face?
I think the biggest challenge is really, I mean, it is short. I don't really look at it that way as a challenge because the other 29 teams are in the same position. So, I mean, if you make an excuse, it doesn't make sense because it's even. The only thing that it's challenging, and every team is different, is that the conditioning, we never had like normally you come in, everybody comes into town after Labor Day, and then you get to see, evaluate, and play pickup games 5-on-5 for 3 to 4 weeks. And then prior to that, they're probably playing, 6 to 8 weeks in the summer wherever they are located. We haven't had that with COVID. There wasn't a lot of 5-on-5, and then a lot of the young players or free agents didn't have contract, though they didn't want to take the risk of playing 5-on-5. So we had quite a few guys in that position, but somehow like it's good to be young and it's good to be wise with all the knowledge that we've given all of our players about nutrition, about conditioning. So they've all come into camp pretty well. But the short camp, we're all in the same boat. We're gonna just keep our priorities and add on as the season goes on and things that we need to put in.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the time we have for Coach today.
Okay, guys. Have a good day.
Go ahead.
Appreciate it. What's up, Rui? How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm good. During the bubble, Scott actually praised you on the way that you were kind of defending wings. And I'm interested to know the next evolution of your game on that end of the floor is guarding multiple positions. Do you feel like you're in a good place there right now during camp?
Yeah, for sure. Like you guys know, right now in the NBA is like 3-4s, like, almost same. I play, right now I'm playing kind of 4, but like, it's almost like a 3 position. I have to guard like those girls, and I have to sometimes guard bigs and stuff. So, for 4-man in NBA, I feel like, you have to be able to guard both sides. And then, yeah, I think that's why I've been doing it. And then this camp, I worked on more. I've been working on those, like, wings and stuff. So, yeah, it's been great.
Chase?
Hey, Rui. You had some pretty quick success last year making all rookie. What advice do you have to Deni Avdija as he gets ready to go through that process as a rookie?
For me last year, everything was new, so I really have to, just get through like every day, either practice, game, meeting, treatment, weightlifting, anything, you have to, you got to take it serious, everything's like matter, it's always like, but I missed like a lot of games, but, still like I met all rookies and stuff, I just got to be yourself and, play play hard, every game, come out with good energy. I think that's the key, to get be rookie. Yeah.
And we haven't seen much of Avdija play. Those of us who watch more college basketball than the Euro League. As you've gotten used to watching him the last few days, like what stands out first to you about him?
You talk about Deni?
Yeah.
He's a good shooter, he's almost he's typical like a European, big, tall shooter, almost like a DB. He has a good, shooting ability. He's a good defender. He can move. He moves like a guard. Like him, he can do a lot of position. He can kind of be point guard. He can play fours. He can be shooter. He can do a lot of things. So it's good.
Ava?
Hey, Rui. Scotty Brooks has talked to us a lot about how you guys are probably going to be fluid at the 3 spot this season. I'm wondering, does that require you to kind of either stay adaptable in how you play off of whoever's in that spot, if it's Deni or Bonga or whoever's in there, or do you kind of have to, because that spot's going to be changing, do you have to kind of stay within yourself? Like how do you think about that, I guess?
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, who I play with, we are like Wizards, we're one team, and we have the same goal, to win the games every day, every games, So, but I mean, those guys almost, I'm not saying almost same, but they each, they each has different, style and stuff. But I used to play with Troy, John, Bonga and stuff. So, even right now, Danny, stuff, it's been 5 days we've been playing, he's been playing threes, I play fours, those kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think it's not gonna be a problem, it was just gotta be played, every day, same style.
Thanks, Rui.
Fred?
Hey, Rui. I was just wondering, I mean, you've had some practices with Russell Westbrook now. I don't know how well you know him from both being with Jordan, but what is your guys' relationship like, and what have those first few practices been like with him?
He was one of my favorite players growing up. I watched him a lot. And then I knew he was Jordan family and stuff, so I have so much respect for his game. And it's been, a couple of days, first thing I noticed, he's a great reader, he's a great leader. He's he's so vocal. He's almost like a head coach, I'm like, he always talks to us, he always talks to me. He's a great guy, I like him. I like to play with him, He actually changed our energy, the team, it's been really great, I'm so happy he's here, and yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
And one unrelated follow-up. I saw the commercial. I gotta know, what was it like shooting a commercial with Bruce Willis?
I mean, it wasn't actually with him, it was, because of COVID, I couldn't be with him, but it was a CG, but it's great, it's like one of the famous Japanese anime, they're trying to kind of imitate, do same kind of stuff. And yeah, but the company is one of the the top in Japan, so it's everywhere in Japan right now. So people talk about it. Yeah.
Thanks, Rui.
Yeah.
Matt Paris?
Hey, Rui. Kind of with what you're just talking about with everyone kind of seeing that commercial. I mean, Deni is obviously really big in Israel as well, like you are in Japan. Just what kind of advice can you give him, or can you guys bond over the fact that you guys are both have big followings in different countries? What is it like to be someone who is such a single point of an entire country like that?
It's honestly it's tough, but either you take it or you can't take it. You just gotta be yourself. I just like to play basketball. I love to play basketball. I always come out every games, with a good energy. I always focus on, one goal, to win the games. I feel like because there's a lot of stuff going on, outside, but end of the day, your job is to play basketball, so you just gotta focus on the one thing, and then other things coming in after. So it's tough, but it's other hand, it's kind of fun too. Yeah.
And then just like when did you film that commercial? Was it, and how long did it take? Was it just a 1 day thing, or?
Yeah, it's just 1 day. Yeah, it was just easy one. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right, last question, and we'll move to the Japanese portion. Glenn?
All right, thank you.
You there, Glenn?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
There he is.
Hey, Rui, talk a little bit about some of the things since the bubble ended that you really wanted to refine in your skill set.
What did I work on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I worked on a lot of threes and ball handling and stuff, and I think mostly my bodies and stuff, like, get stronger. I weighed like a 240. I remember last year around this time it was 230, so almost 10 pounds. Again 10 pounds. It's pretty good, and I still feel like I'm moving good, so it's good, and I feel stronger. And the threes is the one that I worked on a lot. So yeah, I mean, even like this training camp, I think I've been shooting not bad. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Zach, you can go ahead and take over.
Sure, thanks, Matt. はい、では皆さん日本語インタビューを始めます。質問がある方はレイズハンドボタンを押してください。では八村選手よろしくお願いします。
はい、お願いします。
まずチーム練習が今日で5日目だったと思いますけど、トレーニングキャンプここまでいかがですか？充実してますか？
そうですね。いい感じでずっと進んでますね。チームのエナジーもラッセルが入ってすごい上がってきましたし、チームとしてもすごいみんなが本当若い人ばっかりなので、若い選手ばっかりなので、すごいエナジーを感じられる5日間になってます。
なるほど。ラッセル選手はもともと八村選手にとってどんな存在だったんですか？
ラッセル、そうですね。小さい頃からすごい、僕も NBA 好きだったので、すごいずっと見てた選手の一人で、すごいエナジーがある選手だなっていうのはもう昔から分かってたんですけど、やっぱいざ一緒にプレーするってことになってやるとすごいリーダーとしてはすごいいい人だなと思いましたし、チームとしてもすごい引き締まる感じがあるので、そういうところではすごいいいなと思います。
ラッセル選手からは今後どんなアドバイスを聞き出していきたいと思いますか？
そうですね。ラッセルもすごい僕に話しかけてきますし、いろいろアドバイスしてくれますし、どっちかというともっと自信とかそういうところに彼の本当に自信のありさにはすごい僕もびっくりするがあるので、それほどの選手だと思うんですけど、そういうところは僕も少しずつ学んでいきたいなと思います。
やっぱりすでにかなり存在感があるリーダーっていう感じですか？
すごいそうなんかやります。
なるほど。昨日ブルックスヘッドコーチが4番のポジションは八村選手でほぼ決定と言っていたんですけど、引き続きのスタメン起用についていかがですか？
僕もそういうチームとしても大きい仕事で4番でずっと去年からずっと務めてきてて、チームもどんどん少しずつ出来上がってきてというか、徐々にチームらしくなってきているので、そういうところでは僕もしっかりと僕の存在感を出して、チームとしても何を求められているのかっていうのもしっかりそこをやりながら自分のこのプレーをどんどんしていきたいなと思います。
では僕から最後になんですけど、4日後にはブルックリンで初プリシーズンゲームですが、久しぶりの対外試合になります。いかがですか？
そうですね、すごい楽しみですね。すごいその選手によってはすごい全然プレーしてなかった時期もあったと思いますし、僕はバブルから以来なのですごい楽しみですし、こういう大変な時期にこうやってシーズンがあと少しで開催されるということにすごい感謝したいなと。
はい、ありがとうございます。僕からは以上です。では皆さんの質問に行きます。まずは宮地陽子さんお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
はい。
八村選手、この前の会見の時には、今シーズンの目標、プレーオフ出場というふうに言ってましたけれども、ラッセル・ウェストブルックは入ってすぐに、もう優勝を目指さないんだったら、なんでプレーしてるんだぐらいのことを言って いたんですね。で、その彼が加わったことで、チームの目標が一段こう上がったような感じを受けてますか？
そうですね、もう彼はもうずっとこうプレーオフに出てる選手なので、そういうところはあると思うんですけど、僕らとしてはこう去年もプレーオフ逃しましたし、今2年間こうずっと出てないってことなので、まずはプレーオフに向けて頑張るってことで、そこもういつもコーチも言ってるんですけど、すぐにはプレーオフのチームにはどのチームもなってないので、それはもう毎日毎日のその積み重ねがそういうプレーオフチームになっていくと思うので、プレーオフで勝っていくチームになると思うので、そういうところを意識しながらやっていきたいな。
もう一つ、この前の会見で、1年目のルーキーの選手へのアドバイスとして、コーチとかにどんどん質問していくべきだっていうふうにおっしゃってましたけれども、ご自分でも結構昨シーズンに比べてもっとコーチとかに質問を積極的にしていっているんでしょうか？
そうですね、質問というか、去年と比べたら、僕も少しでも分かってきているので、そういうところではもう慣れてきているなっていうのは分かるんですけど、どっちかというと、今はもっと選手同士でブラッドとどういうふうにしたいのかっていうところを言い合ったりとか、ラッセルもそうですし、TV とかもそうですし、そういうもっと選手同士で話すのが多いかなと思います。
ありがとうございます。
杉浦大輔さん、お願いします。
はい、八村選手、お疲れ様です。
はい。
はい、この間、このオフは、ジョン・ウォールの映像をよく見て、研究していたと、一緒にプレーする、どうやっていいかっていうのを考えてるっていう話をしたんですけど、今回、こうやってウエストブルックが来たわけなんですけど、ただ、タイプ的に似たところがある選手だと思うんですけど、ちょっと何回かプレーしてみて、共通点と、あと、ここは違うなと思う部分、ウォールと比べてですね、どういったところがありますか？
彼はすごいリーダーシップが取れるすごい選手だなと思いましたし、この3日間いて、チームとしてもチームのこのレベルをこうやってぐわっと上げれるような選手なので、そういうところはすごいなと思いますし、僕もそういうところを少しずつ学んでいきたいなと思います。
プレースタイル的にはどうですか？
そうですね、ああいう選手がいるとチームの周りがすごい生かされるので、僕ももっとどんどんスリーとかもオープンでシュートを打てたりするので、そういうところではいいなと思います。
このレベルの選手のトレードっていうのは、NBA ではもちろんあることですけど、噂にはなっていたんですけど、最初にジョン・ウォールがトレードになったっていうことを聞いたとき、リアクションはどうでした？
そうですね、NBA の世界では本当にどれだけどんな選手でも本当分からない世界なんだなっていうのは、そこで分かりました。
分かりました。ありがとうございます。
丹羽正さん、お願いします。
お疲れ様です。さっき、去年の、キャンプと比べて10パウンドっていう話、体重の話ですけど、自分の今体が成長している中で、その中でクイックネスとパワーの一番いい点を見つけていく作業ということの難しさっていうのは、どういうところがあります？クイックネスを失いたくもない、パワーも失いたくない、そういうバランスというか。
そうですね、それはもうトレーニングが僕が夏の間、ずっと夏というかオフシーズンの間、雇ってたそのトレーナーと話して、そのトレーナーもすごいバスケやってたトレーナーだったので、そういうところも分かっている中で、自分の、別に体重を増やすつもりではなかったんですけど、自分のそのやってた筋トレが、多分それが筋肉として体重が増えただけだと思うので、そういうところでは筋肉で増えた体重だと思うので、スピードとかそういうところも重視というかそういうトレーニングもしながらやってたので、そこが、今出てるんじゃないかなと思います。
ということは、特に別に体重を増やそう云々ではなくて、トレーニングをしている過程で自然に増えてきたものなので、動きが特に何か変化をしたということではないという。はい、ありがとうございました。
では最後に山脇明子さん、お願いします。
よろしくお願いいたします。
はい。
ヨエル・チャイルドが、チャイルドの、
ちょっと聞こえない。すみません。I can't hear you.
今聞こえますか？聞こえますか？今聞こえますか？
It's not here, right? Over there.
ちょっとエコーになってるみたいですね。
Yeah, I can hear you.
めんなさい。今がルーキー。聞こえます？あ、聞こえないです？
ちょっとまだ山脇さん聞こえていないんですが、どうでしょうか。
あ、ちょっと待ってください。すみません。今の、い
You, Zach.
や、電話ない。ごめんなさい。
We good? I'm out of here.
Yeah, I think we can just skip over this one. Not
OK、山脇さん、ごめんなさい。今日はここで終了とさせていただきます。八村選手、ありがとうございました。
Thanks, Rui.
Thanks. What's up, Denny? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. You have been a professional for a couple of years now. I'm interested, like when you came over here to the States, how much did that actually help you communicate with teammates that are older than you?
It helped me a lot because I came at age of 16 to playing professionally, and I experienced how is it to play it with adult in Maccabi. Everybody is older than you and they got different things to talk about, and it wasn't easy in the beginning. They went at me, and it made me tougher throughout the years, and I managed to face it and be better and really be a part of the team after 3 years. So after I faced that challenge, I think it's very hard to challenge me again. I think I'm more ready, I'm more mature, and overall, I know how to handle things better.
Just a follow-up to that, how do you not get starstruck being around a guy like Russell who, is someone that I'm sure you're picking his brain daily?
Can you repeat that question? I didn't understand.
Yeah, so starstruck over here, it's like if you see somebody that you watched on TV and you're like, oh my God, I'd love to hang out with that person or whatever. Now this is your teammate. So how do you not get kind of overwhelmed by Russell Westbrook's aura?
Listen, I'll be honest. At the beginning, it was cool, but eventually we all play basketball. We're all humans, Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody talking regular stuff, and at the end of the day, we're people. So it doesn't make any difference between us. The only difference is experience and what he's been through. But definitely the beginning was cool, and then me and Russ got really good together. I mean, we have a great relationship. He's talking to me a lot, and I'm all listening to him because he's been through a lot. So me and Russ are cool together, and hopefully we can do great things this year.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chase?
Hey, Denny. We just asked Rui Hachimura about you, and he compared your shooting to Davis Bertans, which is very high praise. I'm wondering what your reaction is to that.
Rui, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get my shots up every day. I worked a lot on my shooting. I think it's coming together. I have still a lot to work on, but definitely getting my reps up. And if he compares me to Bertans, I don't want to change it. So I don't want to say anything else. So leave it at that.
And also speaking to Rui, he was all rookie last year. He had some instant success in the NBA. What have you noticed about him and his approach that maybe you could learn from?
I asked Rui about his rookie year. Definitely, he said it wasn't easy. I mean, being a rookie is not easy. He talked to me about the rookie duties I need to do and how I'm gonna face this, and he just told me to play. I mean, I have the skill. I got drafted here for a reason. I'm a big competitor. I like to win, so I'm just gonna play 100%, and I'm not gonna. I don't believe I'm gonna have a problem. So.
Fred?
Hey, Danny, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
We haven't really spoken to you since you've really had a chance to go through real official practices with the team. I'm wondering, I mean, these are your first. I know you've been through intense high level practices before, but these are your first ones with an NBA team. What has that been like for you? Have you had any moments where you've been like, oh, this isn't what I realized?
It's different. I'm not gonna lie. It is different. And in the beginning, also when I was in Maccabi, I was a little bit more. My game was accelerating more. I was playing more fast. I was not calm as I used to be, and it's all because it's new to me. When things are new to me, and I feel like first days, I'm not like we're a lot of players on the team right now, and it's all seems so fast for me. But I believe when we're gonna start the season, we have these games, and as more games I'm gonna play, I'm gonna feel the game come slower to me, and that's eventually what I'm targeting and I'm aiming for. Yeah, that's about it.
What do you do? Because when I ask that question to rookies, that's like speed of the game. That's the most common answer of the thing they have to adjust. I'm sure you had a similar thing when you started playing at higher levels in Israel, right? How did you overcome that when you were younger, or am I wrong? And that's never really been a thing for you.
It's been a thing for me in the beginning. It happens for because it's new to you, and you trying to do everything fast, because you're so excited. But it's just all slowed down for me, and I saw it in my third year in Europe. I felt like it's all slowing down for me. I'm not playing as fast. I'm thinking more. I'm reading the game better. So it's gonna happen here too. I mean, I just need to get used to everything. I just need to break through, and hopefully it will be like that here. And I think I'll play better. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, thank you, Deni.
Thank you.
Ava?
Hey, Deni, can you expand on those rookie duties Rui was telling you that you had to do? Did you have to do anything like that when you were younger and playing overseas?
We didn't have rookie duties overseas, but guys were definitely pranking me, tying the shoes together, taping my locker up. So I got hit with some things, but not something like rookie duties, like backpack and bringing food and stuff. But I mean, those are my teammates. They're gonna play with me. I need to do it. I'll do it out of love. Those are my teammates. If I can give something to them, it's out of love. It's not. I'm gonna do it with love. So, yeah.
I hope every time you give them food, you say, "Here's your meal with love." I hope that's something you have to do. Scott Brooks.
If it makes us play better, so why not?
Scott Brooks was saying he hasn't really had to take you aside all that much in practice and kind of give you instructions or anything like that. But I imagine you guys have had conversations just through the first couple things. What have kind of been his message so far to you?
It was in general questions like, we talked about where I came from and like my history was, and he does test me. He puts me up challenges in practice, and I actually like it. It's good for me. And I'm not all the time facing those challenges. Like, what do you like? Not all the time. How can I say it? Make it, like, let's say he gives me the shoot free throw. If I missed the whole team runs and I missed it one time, I'm not all the time perfect, but I like those challenges because it makes me better. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glenn?
Deni, מה שלומך?
מה קורה?
מה העניינים?
הכל בסדר.
All right, that's all I know. Hey, Deni, I recently saw a YouTube video of you talking to one of the former great players that I played against 100 years ago in Israel, even before your dad got there, Jerome Jumshi. And, talk a little bit about, Jerome Jumshi?
Of course.
He was a great player. I played against him when he was like 18 years old, and he was like the youngest guy in the Premier League at the time. He was a great player. your history of guys like that and Mickey Berkovich and Alcy Perry and all those guys that played for Maccabi, how much has your dad talked to you about those guys? And, you know, with that YouTube video, did you have a chance to, you know, pick the brains of some of those guys that have been around a long time in Israel?
Doron probably was the closest to me because he was around the court a lot. Of course, we sat down and talked about things, and he advised me some things. But no, my dad actually didn't really talk about him. I mean, history-wise, he knows everything about him. Like, they know each other, but it wasn't a point that I just talk with him about him. No. Excuse me. That's it.
What about some of the other guys that played for Maccabi Tel Aviv in the year, like Monio Oresti and all those guys? And have they come back and, you know, and work with you or talk to you about the history of Maccabi?
No, sir.
No? All right.
Next question. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
We got time for just a few more. Matt Paris.
Hey, Denny. You've had experience like playing for your country, like representing your people, the fame that comes with that for a few years now, obviously. Just how do you expect that to be different in the NBA? And what do you kind of have to, how has your past experience helped you kind of come with representing Israel and all those fans?
I didn't understand. What was the question?
Just how do you expect your experience in the NBA to be different in terms of interacting with Israeli fans, or and what has your past experience helped you with that sort of interaction and representing them?
First of all, Maccabi was a very high-pressure team with a lot of fans. So I got known a lot back there in Israel. So I have some experience with fans and how it goes. I love when all Israel is behind me. Now also the Jewish community around the world, also in the United States, are with me, and I mean that's the biggest blessing you can have, to have that amount of fans that supports you. And at the end of the day, that pushes you and it gives you motivation to play good and to work hard to represent as best as you can. So for me, it's just a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, may I ask a question in Hebrew? Hello?
Yeah,
yes, go ahead.
You can.
Hi. Hi, Deni. Gil Tamari. This is Gil Tamari from News 13 Israel. And I'll ask you please in Hebrew. תאר לנו, מה עובר עליך בשבועיים האחרונים?
לא קל בכלל, כי אתה בא לארץ חדשה, שכאילו כלום, אתה לא מכיר פה אף אחד, אתה צריך למצוא לעצמך בית, אתה צריך למצוא לעצמך דירה, סליחה, אתה צריך למצוא לעצמך בית, אתה צריך למצוא לעצמך מכונית, צריך להתארגן על הכל, זה לא קל, תוך כדי להתאמן גם, להכיר את כל החבר'ה החדשים, יש המון חבר'ה סביב הקבוצה, שבאמת עוזרים לנו, שאתה יודע, אתה עוד צריך להכיר, ואתה עוד לא ב100% מכיר את כולם, אבל סך הכל אתה חי את החלום, אתה יודע? עברתי כל כך קשה בשביל זה, ולהיות במקום הזה שמאמינים בי ונותנים לי, וכל הזמן דואגים לי שאני אהיה בריא, והכל בסדר איתי, וזה פשוט כיף לשחק פה כדורסל.
אז איך נראה החלום ביום-יום? זה כבר שבועיים, איך זה נראה? איך זה מרגיש? תתאר לנו.
אני באולם מ9 בבוקר עד 3 בצהריים, זה לא קל, אבל זה העבודה שלי. ואני מרוויח על זה כסף, וזה גורם לי לטייל בעולם, וזה באמת נותן לך את המוטיבציה לעבוד כל כך הרבה שעות בעולם, ובסופו של דבר אני רק רוצה שיהיה לי שנה ראשונה טובה וכל הזמן להתקדם, כל הקריירה. אז מבחינתי זה לא חשוב כמה זמן אני נמצא בעולם.
יש לך כבר חברים מהקבוצה שאתה יכול להצביע עליהם?
האמת שאני בסדר עם כולם, אני נורא חברותי גם באופי שלי. האמת שאני ממש בסדר עם כולם. אני מדבר קצת יותר עם הרוקיז, כי הם עוברים את מה שאני עובר, אבל חוץ מזה כולם בסדר גמור.
יש משהו שאתה חושש ממנו?
אני את הפחדים שלי כבר עזבתי מזמן, אתה יודע? עברתי כל כך הרבה דברים עד לפה, ואני אעבוד כל כך הרבה דברים שאני פשוט יודע שאני בן אדם חזק, ואני מאמין בעצמי.
אתה מתאר שאתה במגרש מ-9 בבוקר עד הערב. ראית כבר את וושינגטון, חווית, בילית קצת, עשית משהו בעיר?
קורונה זה לא... זה פאק טוב, ואין מה לעשות, אין אפשר ללכת.
We're gonna go to Roy now.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Deni.
You're welcome.
Hey, Deni. How are you? Tell us a little about Amare Stoudemire and his effect on you, and how excited are you to face him on Monday? Even though he's in the coaching staff, tell us a bit what he brought to you as an NBA All-Star, NBA vet. Thanks.
Amare was a big part of me, big part of my game, because I had him for last year in Maccabi, and the amount of experience and knowledge he gave me, it's off the roof. Like, I mean, he was a professional. He came first to the gym. We were always talking about things. I was always asking about the NBA, and he always answered me. No matter what the time, no matter how tired he was or angry he was, he always said to me and answered my questions, and we became very good friends. And it's cool that now I left Maccabi, and we can meet, but not meet as a player to player, as a coach to player. So it'll be a little bit weird, but I mean, Amar is Amar, and I'll always love to see him.
Thank you.
All right, last question, Neil.
Hey, Deni. Obviously, I'm sure it's been a very whirlwind couple weeks and months for you. Since you got here to DC, is there one area that you think, you've been able to improve well in, whether it's a specific facet of the game, a specific drill, or anything like that?
Something that I got better in. I mean, I'm just working to be better every day, but if you ask me, I think mentally, to be a little bit off my friends, a little bit off my family, and to face challenges in a new environment.
Fair enough. Thanks, Deni.
All right, Deni, appreciate your time.
You guys stay safe.